The theme for this year's convention is Engineering the Future, a roadmap for Kenya. And I would like to call on all our industry players, starting from our policymakers who are in ministries, governments, agencies. We also have our academia who are also shaping the future with our young engineers and students, all our practitioners who are working in various projects in this country, and everybody in the industry. We shall be having a booth at the convention. We shall also be making presentations on how to enhance regulation of engineering services so that we can catalyze development in this country. IEK is responsible for taking care of members' welfare. We're also responsible for training and advocating for our members. Welcome to the second IEK convention at Thriving Paradise Beach for Health and Cancer. Our theme this year is Engineering the Future, the Roadmap for Kenya. So what we are looking at this year and why every engineer should be in attendance is how we as engineers are going to impact the nation. How are the agricultural engineers going to impact the economy of this country? How is manufacturing going to impact the economy? How are engineers strategically positioning themselves to participate in the affordable housing program so that the benefits trickle down to all members of the society? This year's convention will come up with a very innovative program where we have sector-specific sessions, and depending on your interest, you'll be able to attend a sector that benefits you. In addition, we organize side events where specific partners are coming in and just telling us what they do, how we can partner together, what benefits we have when we get in touch with their services. Again, we have the Future Leaders Summit of the past day where we want just the future leaders of this country to come together and tell us some of the challenges we are facing and also meet the experts in the industry. We organize a number of site visits. This includes a tour to the Samburu solar plant, depending power station like Kenya, and a tour to Ketraco and the Akari substation. In addition, there is also a tour to the MGR link, like Kenya Railway. So if you have any interest to know how trains operate, you want to know how the connection is done and the interchange to the link, you are feel free to join any of the sessions. The cost for these site visits are already catered for with the delegates fee, so they don't come at an additional cost. Welcome to the second IEK convention at Thriving Paradise Beach Hotel. Create relationships, visit all education board, relax, attend our dinner, and make sure to visit at least one of the side events.
President of the IEK. I want to invite all of you to this year's convention, the second IEK National Convention, which will be taking place in Thriving Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. This year's convention gives us a great opportunity to bring together policymakers, engineers who are practicing, contractors, manufacturers, and all players in the infrastructure space to have robust conversations on the future of infrastructure in this country. I've been this year is engineering roadmap. This is very relevant to the future of infrastructure in space because in the last 2 years we have packaged this convention to be a center of robust conversations about infrastructure, giving the opportunity largely to engineers to lead conversation on infrastructure in this space because they're the natural leaders in this space. We are looking forward to have local and international delegates converging on this convention and having these conversations. We are also bringing in the whole concept of employment opportunities for engineers. You're aware this year, we led a conversation on creation of 10,000 employment opportunities for engineers. These are not just numbers. We have crafted a formula and we are aware what needs to be done to create these employment opportunities. Therefore, this conversation will also feature in this convention, besides the entire conversation on industrialization to create opportunities for our engineers. So majority invites all of us to join us in this year's convention where great conversations are happening. You can't afford to miss. See you there.
My name is Engineer Shama Kitene. I'm the President of the Institutional Engineers of Kenya, and I want to invite all of you to this year's convention, that second IEK International Convention, which will be taking place in Predin Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. This year's convention gives us a great opportunity to bring together policymakers, engineers who are practicing, contractors, manufacturers, and all players in the infrastructure space to have robust conversations on the future of infrastructure in this country. Our theme this year is on engineering the future, a roadmap for Kenya. This theme is very relevant to the future of infrastructure in this space because in the last 2 years, we have packaged this convention to be a center of robust conversations about infrastructure, giving the opportunity and latitude to engineers to lead conversation on infrastructure in this space because they are the natural leaders in this space. We are looking forward to have local and international delegates converging for this convention and having these conversations. We are also bringing in the whole concept of employment opportunities for engineers. You're aware this year, we led a conversation on creation of 10,000 employment opportunities for engineers. These are not just numbers. We have crafted a formula and we are aware what needs to be done to create these employment opportunities. And therefore, this conversation will also feature in this convention, besides the entire conversation on industrialization to create opportunities for our engineers. It's my joy to invite all of you to join us in this year's convention where great conversations are happening. You cannot afford to miss. See you there. My name is Engineer Shama Kitene. I'm the President of the Institutional Engineers of Kenya, and I want to invite all of you to this year's convention, that second IEK International Convention, which will be taking place in Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. This year's convention gives us a great opportunity to bring together policymakers, engineers who are practicing, contractors, manufacturers, and all players in the infrastructure space to have robust conversations on the future of infrastructure in this country. Our theme this year is on engineering the future, a roadmap for Kenya. This theme is very relevant to the future of infrastructure in this space because in the last 2 years, we have packaged this convention to be a center of robust conversations about infrastructure, giving the opportunity and latitude to engineers to lead conversation on infrastructure in this space because they are the natural leaders in this space. We are looking forward to have local and international delegates converging for this convention and having these conversations. We are also bringing in the whole concept of employment opportunities for engineers. You're aware this year, we led a conversation on creation of 10,000 employment opportunities for engineers. These are not just numbers. We have crafted a formula and we are aware what needs to be done to create these employment opportunities. And therefore, this conversation will also feature in this convention, besides the entire conversation on industrialization to create opportunities for our engineers. It's my joy to invite all of you to join us in this year's convention where great conversations are happening. You cannot afford to miss. See you there. My name is Engineer Shama Kitene. I'm the President of the Institutional Engineers of Kenya, and I want to invite all of you to this year's convention, that second IEK International Convention, which will be taking place in Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. This year's convention gives us a great opportunity to bring together policymakers, engineers who are practicing, contractors, manufacturers, and all players in the infrastructure space to have robust conversations on the future of infrastructure in this country. Our theme this year is on engineering the future, a roadmap for Kenya. This theme is very relevant to the future of infrastructure in this space because in the last 2 years, we have packaged this convention to be a center of robust conversations about infrastructure, giving the opportunity and latitude to engineers to lead conversation on infrastructure in this space because they are the natural leaders in this space. We are looking forward to have local and international delegates converging for this convention and having these conversations. We are also bringing in the whole concept of employment opportunities for engineers. You're aware this year, we led a conversation on creation of 10,000 employment opportunities for engineers. These are not just numbers. We have crafted a formula and we are aware what needs to be done to create these employment opportunities. And therefore, this conversation will also feature in this convention, besides the entire conversation on industrialization to create opportunities for our engineers. It's my joy to invite all of you to join us in this year's convention where great conversations are happening. You cannot afford to miss. See you there. My name is Engineer Shama Kitene. I'm the President of the Institutional Engineers of Kenya, and I want to invite all of you to this year's convention, that second IEK International Convention, which will be taking place in Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. This year's convention gives us a great opportunity to bring together policymakers, engineers who are practicing, contractors, manufacturers, and all players in the infrastructure space to have robust conversations on the future of infrastructure in this country. Our theme this year is on engineering the future, a roadmap for Kenya. This theme is very relevant to the future of infrastructure in this space because in the last 2 years, we have packaged this convention to be a center of robust conversations about infrastructure, giving the opportunity and latitude to engineers to lead conversation on infrastructure in this space because they are the natural leaders in this space. We are looking forward to have local and international delegates converging for this convention and having these conversations. We are also bringing in the whole concept of employment opportunities for engineers. You're aware this year, we led a conversation on creation of 10,000 employment opportunities for engineers. These are not just numbers. We have crafted a formula and we are aware what needs to be done to create these employment opportunities. And therefore, this conversation will also feature in this convention, besides the entire conversation on industrialization to create opportunities for our engineers. It's my joy to invite all of you to join us in this year's convention where great conversations are happening. You cannot afford to miss. See you there. My name is Engineer Shama Kitene. I'm the President of the Institutional Engineers of Kenya, and I want to invite all of you to this year's convention, that second IEK International Convention, which will be taking place in Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. This year's convention gives us a great opportunity to bring together policymakers, engineers who are practicing, contractors, manufacturers, and all players in the infrastructure space to have robust conversations on the future of infrastructure in this country. Our theme this year is on engineering the future, a roadmap for Kenya. This theme is very relevant to the future of infrastructure in this space because in the last 2 years, we have packaged this convention to be a center of robust conversations about infrastructure, giving the opportunity and latitude to engineers to lead conversation on infrastructure in this space because they are the natural leaders in this space. We are looking forward to have local and international delegates converging for this convention and having these conversations. We are also bringing in the whole concept of employment opportunities for engineers. You're aware this year, we led a conversation on creation of 10,000 employment opportunities for engineers. These are not just numbers. We have crafted a formula and we are aware what needs to be done to create these employment opportunities. And therefore, this conversation will also feature in this convention, besides the entire conversation on industrialization to create opportunities for our engineers. It's my joy to invite all of you to join us in this year's convention where great conversations are happening. You cannot afford to miss. See you there. My name is Engineer Shama Kitene. I'm the President of the Institutional Engineers of Kenya, and I want to invite all of you to this year's convention, that second IEK International Convention, which will be taking place in Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. This year's convention gives us a great opportunity to bring together policymakers, engineers who are practicing, contractors, manufacturers, and all players in the infrastructure space to have robust conversations on the future of infrastructure in this country. Our theme this year is on engineering the future, a roadmap for Kenya. This theme is very relevant to the future of infrastructure in this space because in the last 2 years, we have packaged this convention to be a center of robust conversations about infrastructure, giving the opportunity and latitude to engineers to lead conversation on infrastructure in this space because they are the natural leaders in this space. We are looking forward to have local and international delegates converging for this convention and having these conversations. We are also bringing in the whole concept of employment opportunities for engineers. You're aware this year, we led a conversation on creation of 10,000 employment opportunities for engineers. These are not just numbers. We have crafted a formula and we are aware what needs to be done to create these employment opportunities. And therefore, this conversation will also feature in this convention, besides the entire conversation on industrialization to create opportunities for our engineers. It's my joy to invite all of you to join us in this year's convention where great conversations are happening. You cannot afford to miss. See you there. My name is Engineer Shama Kitene. I'm the President of the Institutional Engineers of Kenya, and I want to invite all of you to this year's convention, that second IEK International Convention, which will be taking place in Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. This year's convention gives us a great opportunity to bring together policymakers, engineers who are practicing, contractors, manufacturers, and all players in the infrastructure space to have robust conversations on the future of infrastructure in this country. Our theme this year is on engineering the future, a roadmap for Kenya. This theme is very relevant.
We are going to pray. Our Father and our God, we come before you this morning with a lot of thanksgiving in our hearts because you have taken care of us throughout the week, and now, dear Lord, we have met here for a purpose. We thank you so much, oh my Father, that you saw it fit that this day we'll be able to launch the 32nd IEK convention. Father, we thank you and we commit each and every program of the day at your able hands. May you lead us, may you grant us wisdom, may you be with each and every one who decided to come here. We thank you, Lord, and we pray that you will bless us. May you bless us all as we start until the end. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
While in the same position, let us have the national anthem. Let's all stand for the national anthem. Let's all be upstanding. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's have our seats. We are excited to be here. Our chief guest, Engineer Joseph Mbugua, the Permanent Secretary, the State Department for Roads. Also with us, we have Engineer Kinoti Silas, who is the DG for Kura. Welcome. Engineer Shama Kiteme, President, Institution of Engineers of Kenya. We have Engineer Margaret Ogai, the Registrar, IBK, Council members, partners, sponsors, Council members. We thank you for taking time to be here. I'm Engineer Jackton Mwembe, the Honorary Secretary, Institution of Engineers of Kenya. I'll be your MC for this morning. My co-MC will be Engineer Jennifer, who is also seated there. We are here for the media launch for the 32nd International IEK International Convention, and we are happy to work together and to work together through this. As we continue, we are going to have our speeches from special guests, and it will be as per the program that is before you. Just to mention that behind the program that you're having, there is a QR you can scan so that you can be able to have your convention concept notes, so that we keep understanding what is being offered at which will be offered at the 32nd IEK International Convention. At this particular time, I would want to go straight to the program, and we have the remarks. The first we are going to have from a representative on ASEC Chair, Engineer Jane Mutulili, if she's here, or a representative, to come up front. Engineer Jane Mutulili, or a representative. A representative from ASEC. Thank you. Thank you very much. She's coming, and I believe she'll be here in time so that we can proceed. We'll move to the next. As per your program, we are having Engineer Margaret Ogai, who is the registrar, EBK, to come up front and give her remarks. Welcome, my registrar.
Thank you. So, thank you, Engineer Mwembe, the MC for the day. And I'd like to recognize we have with us the PS for roads, Engineer Joseph Bogwa. Thank you for gracing this occasion, and we are looking forward to hearing your contributions to this and leading us as engineers as we have discussions on pertinent issues in the country. I want to also recognize that we have the President of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, Engineer Shama Kiteme. We also have DG Kura. We also have, I think, the General Manager for Acton, and a few other DGs and council members. And truly, I think all the partners who are here, very deeply honored to also speak to all of you today. And I have a few comments I would want to make. Firstly is to congratulate IEK. You have faithfully run these conferences. I think we're on the 32nd, and we have seen them grow and grow in terms of the quality and the conversations. I think the theme is very apt, engineering the future, because we must focus on the future. From where we are today is where we're going. So EBK, Engineers Board of Kenya, is the regulator of engineering services, and we are distinct and partners to the IEK as one of the industry leaders in engineering in this country. So we are very happy to be here, and I know last year we had a very good, I think we had the largest delegation of engineers that was sponsored to the conference, and this is because we had also sponsored our young engineers, the graduate engineers. We continue to participate even this year, perhaps due to the ongoing restructuring and the budget cuts. We are going to definitely have an exhibition, and we are going to have our senior engineers attending the convention, but we may not be able to sponsor our large contingent of graduate engineers, but we will see if we can do it even if it's virtually. Now, I'll just look at this future that we're trying to all work into. What are the opportunities? I think we're always talking of challenges, but I'd rather talk about opportunities. One, we know over 80% of our population is in the youth brackets. So we have a huge youth dividend in Africa and in Kenya specifically. How are we going to tap and harness that? Currently at the universities, we are looking at over 22,000 engineers who are enrolled, or student engineers enrolled. So that in the next 5 years comes down outside into the market to join the already 28,000 strong engineers. So I think this is something we need to really look at, tap. Digital transformation, we're in the middle of it, and this information age that we're in, how are we really embracing this? At Engineers Board of Kenya, we are working with ICTA. We want to develop an AI training for all engineers, which we are going to roll out very soon. We are also the competent authority that is discussing on the liberalizing of engineering services under the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreements. We want to position Kenya to export engineering services. We are good, we're pretty good in Kenya, we're pretty good. And some of the things we've done to prepare is the Washington Accord, so that our engineers' qualifications are also recognized abroad. I think as I conclude, Bona PS, we have invested as a country very strongly in engineering. When we hear our president, the issues that are pertinent to him about energy, how do we increase our energy outputs, how do we have infrastructure, roads, and all that, we are, I think, assuring the world, the public, ourselves, that we have a strong contingent of over 28,000 engineers in our register today. They are deployed in all sectors, all service sectors, manufacturing, infrastructure, and I think they're doing a critical and good job. In fact, I would like us to celebrate our engineers. I hope there's a session at the convention where we should truly just look back and celebrate our engineers, because they have done a great job right from independence up to today. And so Bona PS, ours is to give the full support to the Institution of Engineers of Kenya in the 32nd convention. And we want to create the future-ready engineer who is going to project our country and take us forward. I thank you very much for this opportunity, and look forward to the convention. We shall be there in big force. Other things we'll talk can do Bona PS. You may attend, kuna vitu tutaongea, lakini we are very, very happy that you're here and you'll be able to take up, because we also need a strong regulatory framework if we are going to indeed transform our economies and uplift the lives of our livelihoods of our people. I thank you very much, and we're looking forward to listening to the President and the chief guests, and also looking forward to meeting all of us at the convention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Registrar. A round of applause for her. Thank you. EBK is a lifetime partner to IEK, so, and the work that they are doing is great. And thanks for your support. Our next speaker is none other than our President, Engineer Shama Kiteme. I would like to invite him to come up front and give his opening remarks. Thank you very much, Honsek. All right, our chief guest and our friend, Engineer Joseph Bugwa, who is our PS, State Department for Roads. We are very grateful that you agreed to join us this morning. Just makes this an engineer's thing, and I was very excited when we had this conversation on you joining us this morning, and you're very eager to come. We don't take that for granted. Thank you very much. I want to appreciate our esteemed partners, friends, on behalf of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya who have been with us. And I want to thank Engineers Board of Kenya, represented by the CEO. I want to thank our various state agencies who have stood with the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. The DG Kura is here, Engineer Silas Kinoti, a true friend of the institution, and very many players from the private sector who have always been with us. I've seen Actom, Opalnet, I have seen Sika, I've seen, and I'm making a mistake now starting to mention this because I can't exhaust the list. But let me say, I really want to thank you all for being with us. ASEC has also been very supportive to us. And I want to start by acknowledging council members before I make my comments. The council members of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, I'll request them to stand up so that we can see them, because they're the one who planned this convention. All council members, kindly. Yes, council members are not paid.
they really sacrificed to serve the engineers. And so I want to appreciate this table. We have our second Vice President, Engineer Christine Ogood. In this table, we have our first Vice President, Engineer Harrison Keter. Next to her, we have Engineer Flora Kamanja, the council member. Next to her, we have Engineer Jennifer Korir, our Honorary Treasurer. We have Engineer Jackton Mwembe, who just left the stage and is a Honorary Secretary. We have Engineer Jennifer Gashe, who is a council member. We are more than that, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more. I also want to appreciate our Secretariat. Secretariat, please stand where you are. We do have Secretariat that now runs operations. Now, I know they are all over, organizing, making sure that we are comfortable. And so maybe we'll see all of them when they are done over there. Now, friends, colleagues, and partners, good morning. My name is Engineer Shama Kiteme, and I'm the president of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, those who are seeing me for the first time. And I'm very honored to be with us this morning because this convention, being the 32nd, tells you we have had 31 conventions before. And this is a highlight of the success of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. And I can never be more proud as a president that every year we've been able to hold this premier event. And so we're here today to launch this convention, the 32nd IEK International Convention. And we have been planning this for the last 7 months. Now we are at that point that our society, our country at large needs to know what we have been thinking, what we have been planning, and how it impacts our country at large. It is therefore important that today we have this media launch, which is basically to engage the country, to engage the society at large. And I'm saying that carefully because every other time as IEK we do something, we think we are doing it just here, only to get feedback from as far as Ghana, South Africa, that we were watching you. This, like I said, is the biggest event that IEK holds every year. And this year, the convention is being held at the Pride in Paradise Hotel in Mombasa. And we'll be gathering at Pride in Paradise from 25th to 28th this month. This year, again, the theme is Engineering the Future, the Roadmap for Kenya. This theme is actually intentional. And also, from last year, we have been fashioning and packaging the annual convention as a forum to set the agenda for the country. And make no mistake, engineers are setting the agenda for this country. We're therefore looking into setting the agenda for the country for the foreseeable future. We believe that the thinking for the future has to be done today, and that thinking has a lot to do with engineers and engineering. Just this year, on August 27th, IEK laid out the path to employment of 10,000 engineers. That was not a selfish odyssey. We were categorical in stating what we think needs to be done in the road sector, the building sector, in the water and sanitation sector, in the aviation, in the mining, virtually all the sectors. And we argue that this country needs to develop the roads to create these opportunities for engineers. We also emphasize the role of engineers in the affordable housing program, but also in the housing sector generally. The energy sector, water, irrigation, sanitation sectors, manufacturing, and our contribution to industrialization, agriculture, aviation sectors, as well as mining and extractives. Well developed, all these sectors hold a promise of many employment opportunities for engineers, and therefore our pursuit for the development of this country is not just selfish, it is because we want to fashion a future that all of us are proud of. We are actually very excited that perhaps His Excellency the President saw the clip when we went to the streets, because we made a petition to his high office, and we're very grateful that we got some response. We have heard him clearly articulate the path that the country needs to follow for development. Most recently, he has been very categorical that we must achieve food security through irrigation and modernization of agriculture. We want to give a commitment as engineers that we fully support this, and our members are ready to offer expertise in this regard. We have expertise in irrigation, development of canals, mechanized systems, and modernization of agriculture. He went ahead and confirmed that we need to build 50 mega dams and put 2 million hectares of land under irrigation. And we have been vocal in articulating the need for at least a water pan in every village in this country. We know this country, 85% of our land mass is in arsal areas. And so we support fully this push to put a lot of these lands under irrigated agriculture. There is also the push from the executive to embark on value addition and agro-processing focus on manufacturing and industrialization. This will help the country export finished products instead of raw materials. This is very important in our view, and we fully support. Matter of fact, our convention last year, the theme was industrialization for economic transformation and employment creation. And we are very confident that this country has the resources. We do have very competent electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, mechatronic engineers, chemical engineers, textile engineers, production engineers, all sort of engineers, competent, qualified, experienced to spearhead these efforts. Another very important conversation that His Excellency has started is on developing reliable, affordable, sustainable energy which can sustain a robust manufacturing sector. Towards this end, there is a push from the executive which we really appreciate and support to ramp up our power generation capacity from the current 2,300 megawatts, well, usually it changes because I know we have captive power, etc., to the projected demand of 10,000 megawatts. And we have the capability, we have the capacity, we have the resources to be able to achieve this. And as engineers, we are very committed to support this vision. And when a chief guest appears, I think you should convey this message of goodwill to the executive that engineers are ready and willing to take up this to support this bright future for our country in terms of infrastructure growth. Of course, we need to expand our roads, railway network, and airports, as well as seaports. We appreciate the investments in the cost in terms of the seaport, the investments in airports. You know, in my county where they hosted the Mashujaa Day the other day, they actually constructed the first tarmac airstrip. And because I understand airport engineering, when you have a runway and you don't have a terminal building, you have an airport. But when you have a terminal building and you don't have a runway, you don't have an airport. And so the investment in this kind of infrastructure is very important. We do believe, strongly so, that we need to have railway network connecting the northern, eastern part of this country, all the way from Mandera, all the way from Turkana, have a railway network linking these parts of the country to Nairobi etc. And besides completing the standard gauge railway to the western part of this country. And so we are aware that this vision involves a lot to do with engineers and very willing to support this vision. And so all these undertakings are important and they involve engineers at all levels. We appreciate that. Conceptualization, planning, design, execution, operation, and maintenance. We are very confident that all these measures, if implemented, will create opportunities for engineers, and this is exactly what we are seeking when we have this kind of convention and we make it a national conversation. Now, the world is changing and changing very fast. My colleague, President, Institution of Civil Engineers in the UK, is making a case and saying that while the engineer will not be replaced by AI, the engineer will be replaced by an engineer who is competent with AI. And therefore, as the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, we are having these conversations to update ourselves so that our members meet the standards that we need to continue to practice competently. We must therefore look at how realistically we can develop this country in the lines already highlighted. But the discussions on the wider policy and governance issues are also relevant and important so that we can make sure that every sector that our members are playing a role in is well highlighted. This convention, therefore, which is taking place, like I said, from 25th to 28th this month, actually the next, it is under 3 weeks now, we have confirmations that will be joined by policymakers, we have contractors, we have practicing engineers, we have manufacturers, we have innovators, and this will gather to make sure that the conversations that we have are able to shape the future of this country. We are joined actually by foreign delegations, and as of yesterday, we have about 30 of them who have already confirmed, all the way from Singapore. We have confirmations from Russia, and locally Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and many others that are willing to join us in this conversation. It's therefore my joy and honor to invite all of us watching us, listening to us, and those whose message will reach, that you join us, and especially those who have interest in the infrastructure sector, to make sure that you attend the convention. You have an option to attend physically, and Pridin is a good venue, but you can join virtually, those who are not able to attend physically, so that then you can be part of the conversation. The other way you can join us, you can partner with us and be part of the convention through partnership. We have packages in this regard, but also you have an opportunity to exhibit what you do on a daily basis, so that then you have the highest audience of engineers. We do hope that by the time all of us are gathering in Mombasa, we will be over 3,000 of us, because we have seen this convention growing over the years, and it's become a center of conversations. And therefore, I'm very sure, because I've been involved in the planning of this convention, it's going to be a wonderful sessions. There are going to be wonderful sessions for all of us to take part in, and an opportunity that you do not want to miss. Let me conclude by saying that we are part of a global body of engineers. We are members of World Federation of Engineering Organizations, and the President of World Federation of Engineering Organizations is joining us. We are members of Federation of African Engineering Organizations. We have made effort as Institution of Engineers of Kenya to join and to be partners with international players. And I know that you know now that we have AI and robots able to do what engineers are doing. I have witnessed myself a robot that is able to painting, and take up work that can be done by 30 painters. Robots are now doing measurement and they are monitoring construction through digitization of construction sector. They are doing measuring, they are doing pouring of concrete and leveling. I've seen robots that are actually doing excavations and digging, making sure that we don't expose people to dangerous kind of work, and our engineers need to be updated in this regard. I'm telling you, engineering education has moved to virtual reality, where our engineers being trained in class are able to visualize the site from the comfort of the class, not having to go to the field. And we are aware this is happening in the world, and we must catch up. So part of the conversations we're having is to make sure that we are aware of what is happening and we can upgrade ourselves. But most importantly, that we are going to play our leading role in transforming this country. And therefore, all of us are invited. We want to invite everyone, especially in the media, carry this message across so that we can, all of us, converge in Mombasa for this conversation. It's going to be big, it's going to be a blast, and therefore, anyone in the interested in the infrastructure sector, you cannot afford to miss this. Thank you very much. I now want to invite our chief guests to be able to make his speech. Engineer Mbugo has been very close to the institution, and we are very privileged to have you today, our PS.
Mr. President, you have just said it will be a blast. And those of us who were alive in 1998 and we saw the bomb blast, I hope it's a soft one. The IEK President, Engineer Shema Kiteme, the EBK Registrar, Engineer Margaret Ogai, the Chairperson ASEC, whom I hope now has checked in, Engineer Jane Mtulili, the Director Generals led by our brother, Engineer Cyrus Kenoti, CEOs, Executive Directors, state corporations, council members of IEK, EBK, board members, and ASEC Council, IEK partners and stakeholders, our brothers and sisters from the fourth estate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good morning. It is a great honor to join you this morning for this media launch of the 32 IEK International Convention, scheduled to take place from 25th to 28th of November